arm of the law, the Ure being able to catch up to you, and the Terra running out, he's going to be a little bit scary.
I think if I had to choose, I'd probably lean towards the Phoneix draft. I think it's a little bit easier to execute just because the Zarus makes the engage so foolproof. And the Twin Blast is a good matchup into the Murdoch. It can just outrange it if it chooses to. Once it gets his ultimate online, it becomes a very strong zoning tool against the Murdoch.
Well, we're going to see if they're going to be able to zone or if they're going to be in the zone. It's going to be HD Philly B and Dr. Shadow. Take this one away.
Hey, thank you, Jet. Yo, nice shirt, Doc. That looks good. Thank you, boys on the desk. And thank you, Predecessor fans, for sticking with us for our final match of this opening weekend for the PCC Summer Summit. We've got Phoneix and we've got F5, Doc. I was leaning towards the Phoneix. They've got the Zarus and the Decker, some of my favorite characters.
I mean, I typed it in the chat. Ban the Decker. That is always going to be my motto. You could take Decker out of the game, and I'm still going to be saying ban the Decker until I go into the grave. Phoneix, they have a very easy to execute draft, in my opinion, whereas F5, there's a lot more things that have to go right for them. So I'm super excited to get into this, and as always, the Eternals keeping things spicy in Predecessor. This has been the absolute most fun Predecessor I've had the pleasure of watching thus far, and it's only getting more fun, especially after that last series. So these guys have a really high bar to clear.
100%. Yeah, some new names, right? Pro Snipe, Frog, a lot of like accolades for them. But we've got Mr. Guru, one of the absolute legends, used to play for Team Hive with Nugzit and Aho and Boinks and a number of other players. We've got Denim Dave on this team. So some really good players. On the flip side, Sports Are Cool, another veteran in the scene. Took a little bit of break, but now he's back playing one of his favorite characters in the Terra.
Yeah, Terra and Feng Mao, again, still really his bread and the butter across the board. Maybe he's been cooking on some other things, but that's what I know him for. White Turtle, another name that I've seen around here. I feel like he went by another name, but I could be super wrong on that. And then Slick. Slick is a guy I met back in the day when I used to play on console. I met him on console. We became friends. We just kind of played a lot, and then suddenly I stopped playing the game for a little while and haven't talked to him since. But yeah, there's some history here with some of the players. 111, a Decker enjoyer, not able to play Decker on the side of F5, so I'm going to be interested to see how he kind of pivots the game plan here with the phase in tandem with that Murdoch duo lane.
For sure. And we got to thank our observer TDM, who's capturing all the action for us today. And we talked to TDM beforehand about, what storylines, where we think most of the action will be, Doc. And it's right here in this duo lane. It's the big Vermis for the side of the Twin Blast that really caught my eye.
It's an interesting choice. Looking at the drafts of both the teams, the only real reason you would pick Vermis is to deal with the Terra, right? There's the percent-based HP. He also has the Melting Point, which does plus 10% damage to targets who have more than 125 physical armor. Again, Terra, by all accounts. So his whole existence in this game is dealing with Terra, and it feels like the rest of his team is cool with that. They're cool with dealing with the other players on the side of F5. So I'm interested to see how it plays out in this duo, matched up against a Murdoch. As Haru was saying, the range is going to be an issue, and that's going to be the first blood getting poked out in this early phase. The earlier the game, the more the range the Murdoch has, and that is kind of the struggle until you get a couple levels on board as that Twin Blast. It's going to be real tough playing into this duo lane. You need your Decker to get at least level 3 in order to be able to control the battlefield the way you want. And being able to vaporize creep waves, being able to poke with grenades is how he's going to have to play this lane, especially now that he's fallen behind, giving that first blood gold bonus to Salmonella, who, by the way, is operating what we saw yesterday, the tried and true Zyrus Eternal. So he's going to be stacking. He's happy to just kill creeps. He's happy to just let the game progress because he's going to continue getting stronger and stronger. And once he gets 150 CS, he's going to hit a critical mass with that bonus to crit strikes.
Right, so on-hit build maybe in the cards, and on-hit into the mid lane. Mr. Guru with the blink chase goes for one more spear of near. Can he hit
get him!
The target? Come on, brother! No! The tower doing its job, but Denim will go into the dirt, taking the final shot for his jungler, and both mid laners dead.
Ooh, that was
spicy.
That was spicy, a little bit messy. Both Rena and Zarus blink after Slick there to get it. I bet Slick is kind of giggling to himself that he might have died there, but he took 2 blinks and got a kill in retaliation there. So honestly, Slick kind of coming out on top in that exchange. Denim David probably not feeling super great with the fact that he was not able to hit that auto attack. And with this pressure that Mr. Guru was forced to go back to base, White Turtle is going to steal a couple of these creeps or minions from this 5 camp here, and he's going to get out of dodge there. Mr. Guru now down bad, going to have to walk to his 2 camp. So now his tempo in the jungle has been affected by White Turtle.
Doc, and we were talking a little bit during the draft how Mr. Guru likes to play more assassin-y and loves harping on the mid lane. And we saw his first rotation is the mid lane, and he's doing it again, but the help of the Decker is here. They know what the gadget does not have a blink, and so the Techromancer is certainly under pressure now, heading over to the ceiling, who maybe will get the final hit, being blasted from every side, and Mr. Guru finds his quarry this time.
Slick almost able to just break ankles and buy time there, but yeah, to the point you were saying, Mr. Guru, he's known for being an aggressive jungler who's going to punish mid lane. It doesn't matter who you are in the mid lane, you're going to see Mr. Guru 10 times before the 10 minutes mark. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but you'll see him at least 5 times. I can almost guarantee that. And that's just how he plays. Players have their style. They have the thing that works for them. And Slick right now down bad because of this pressure coming out from Guru. No blink. 2 deaths now, falling behind a little bit, but looking at the net worth, he's only down by about 300, so it's not terrible at this point. And he's a gadget. The later the game goes, the stronger he gets, the easier it becomes to kill creep waves. Slick's not really too worried. His whole existence is just use Tesla Dome to great effect, right? So he's really not that worried as long as he's able to continue getting money, continue protecting his map by protecting that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, Doc, and we were talking about how this F5 draft is a lot of roots, right? Burdock's got a root, FaZe has got a root, the Gadget's got a root, Terra's got a root. Everybody's going to be immobilized, but that means you're still in the fight. You can use your abilities, you can shoot. So that's some trickiness, right? It's like a soft CC for them, but their real combo will be that Tesla Dome and the Soul Storm from the Uri to really keep everybody in a condensed location and then go from there. But I mean, you've got the Decker, just the control master. We'll see what she can do, what impact. There's the root right on cue. The Rena has to float away, and we'll get onto the high ground, but we know how shifty this Uri can be, and she'll check another offer list.
White Turtle mirroring Guru to a certain degree, like doing what he wants to be doing. Sports are cool though, gonna die over in that off lane as a result of a rotation here from the side of Phasma, the Decker. Okay, I guess Decker's just over there, but as a result of Decker showing in the off lane, this is the green light for F5 to start this first Fang of the game. He has eyes on it. They know. Phoneix know that they're in here. They're going to have to look to collapse if they want to get something out of this. Again, don't give objectives away for free, but as I say that, Phoneix, they're opting to just give it away, go about their lives, reestablish themselves, get comfortable, get the tempo flowing again. It's only 3-2. First Fang, though, is going to go the way of F5. So now Uri and whoever else gets buffs is going to be able to hold those buffs 50% longer throughout the rest of this game. So that could be the edge that they need to kind of take away the mid game. Looking at the net worth across the board, though, Murdoch, slight advantage right now, has about a 300 gold lead onto the Twin Blast. In the mid lane, it's dead even, about 11 gold.
It's like 1 minion, dude, and that's as close as they can get. And those mid laners, they want to scale. That is their job, and that's why they're so vulnerable to a lot of these ganks. And Sports are cool is vulnerable to another just being chased down, run down. There's one brute, but that he still has a Shinbi to worry about. The Wolves are certainly hungry. The pack in force, but it has so much armor. Is that Terra able to get out of this gank this time? And that's a time warp, Doc, I'm seeing for the Shinbi.
We were talking about this in the green room, right? Shinbi could theoretically fulfill the role as that beefy frontliner that the side of Phoneix is kind of missing. Hold that, because there's going to be an energy lance onto Denim. Slick stepping up. Denim under duress is going to float away. And now Phasma's here as the backup. Ooh. But Denim's actually cooking in the Tesla Dome. He's going to be okay.
Oh! Can't jump over that, Doc. Yeah, tickled his toes and took him down. And the Murdoch can participate from anywhere on the map. And that's another kill for the police officer. That's one shot, one down.
And that is going to be a completed Stormbreaker now on the side of Murdoch. So he now has a full item, whereas does in fact, he's opted to start with the Chalice, has not completed a full item yet. So now there's a slight power advantage here on this for the Murdoch, even though he's down a level right now against Haz. Haz has had a chance to just kind of sit here, farming creeps. All the meanwhile, Phasma on that Decker has been rotating around the map, taking a playbook out of Zhees, if you will. And I love to see that. You know, he has the Ion Eternal, so he has the ability to be rotating around the map because he's not going to fall too far behind as a support. In fact, he's ahead of 11111. He's level 7, right? Or sorry, level 6 right now, and 11111 just turned level 6. So, I mean, Ion paying some dividends here on the side of Phoneix.
And with that get active, you want to dump your abilities in. You want to do that hero damage to get the gold. And by Phasma rotating, then so does 111, and they have to rotate back as the carries are dueling once more. The gauntlet thrown, and that's a photon disruptor doing a bulk of the damage, but a grenade will finish the job. The stasis bomb explodes onto the battlefield, but we know how shifty the phase can be. A blink away, and the boat of the energy lance to do the same. And wait, an Ion Strike now tossed into the fray. So many grenades, it's a bomb heaven over here. A barrage leads to a double kill in the duo lane.
Double kill in the duo lane, the perfect product of limit testing. Phasma and Haz just out here fighting in a double creep wave, just pushing their buttons, hitting their spells, right? I mean, if they miss one of those spells, whether it's Vaporize, whether it's Photon Disruptor, it doesn't matter, they lose that fight. But they hit them, they get the kill onto the Murdoch, then you're left with a phase. Phase doesn't really do too much damage, so they step up. The Ion Strike connects perfectly onto her, setting up the Vaporize. Rest is history. All the meanwhile, though, White Turtle on the Ure did get poked out by the Zarus and some other friend. I didn't see who the friend was, but that looks to be a Coliseum stack on the Zarus.
That is big, and speaking of another big ultimate, that's the Tesla Dome down, and so is the Abyssal Rift, who's opened up. The Demon Lord is hungry for souls. Won't find that one of the Techromancer, but now I think the supports have rotated into the fray. Yes, here is Phasma to help the mid laner. Doc, we've talked about a number of these trades across the map. I mean, this next Fangtooth is about to be on the board. I expect these teams to be going for it.
Second Fang is about to spawn, and it is customary for the offlaner to kind of start thinking about that, and I think Blitzy is in a perfect position right now to do that, to show up. As I say that, though, Has forced a blink under his tier 1, but Guru is here for a little backup, and he's going to Spear of Near Salmonella, sending him back. This is most likely a dead phase, and this is a green light for Phoneix to walk into the Fang and get the second Fangtooth of the game for themselves. We can see Denim is rotating to join the squad here, even if White Turtle shows up. That would be a suicide mission. All the meanwhile, you know, oh yeah, I was talking about, hold that thought, because White Turtle's actually looking, he's lurking.
Yeah, Doc, there's no way he was going to go for the hunt there. As you mentioned, there's too many CCs, especially with the Decker available, but I love that rotation. As we alluded to, foreshadowed just a touch, like that Fangtooth so crucial, especially you don't want to get the extra movement speed for how much this phase is rotating, but Blitzy getting blitzed on, and sports are cool, forces the blink and jumps after him. One more hack will do it. What? The Highland Hurl goes awry, and that's some of the verticality, some of the elusivity of this Shimby. Even dodges the long arm of the law, but the fashion statement, too strong for the pop star. She gets blown up.
Have a hat and go back to base, said Slick. Oh, man, dude. Oh, Blitzy out here breaking ankles. And honestly, yes, he dies there, but he doesn't really care, honestly. He is 1,400 gold ahead of Sports Are Cool. Sports Are Cool right now. Like, he has so much. With that Time Warp, he's able to just flash farm so easily and get so much pressure. But as I say that, a Coliseum dropped on the Salmonella again, and he's just going to get poked. Is that going to be a spear? That's going to be a spear, sending Salmon back. And now, again, it's just a phase. What are you even going to do? The Stasis Bomb does not connect. He is going to just get to walk away.
Doc, Salmonella, that's like what chickens can give you, right? Like, that's like the disease from chickens? Or is that something else?
I mean, it's like a bacterial-borne food poisoning that you can get in like peanut butter, chicken. I mean, there's so many other things you can get it in, but yeah.
You're the doctor. That's why I gotta ask you that. I wanted to make like he gets skewered, like chicken skewers, but then I was like, I think that's a bacteria. You can't really do that.
You can't skewer bacteria, but maybe the shrimp on the Barbie were not cooked all the way through, and thus he got sick.
Oh man, well, sick plays from Phoneix right now. We knew this duo lane was going to be aggressive with this Vermis and the Ion, these Eternals forcing the hand almost of these players to really work into them, and they're almost getting this tier 1 down. It's only a sliver of health, Doc. They're doing some work here in the duo.
It is a sliver down, and this is going to be some nice net worth considering the side of F5 actually have a tier 1 tower in the form of that offlane tower, so this will be a nice equalizer across the map, if you will. But White Turtle could be in danger here with 3 collapsing onto him.
Uh-oh. They need some CC to lock this down, and that's got to come in the form of Mr. Guru. Looks like the Soul Storm will be leveraged just for escape here, Doc, and knowing with the jungler out of position and with no resources left in the tank, he'll go right for the mini prime, and I've been looking for White Turtle, haven't had too much impact so far in this game.
Yeah, knowing that Soulstorm is down is in fact that green light. Tesla Dome could be coming in here. Slick getting some eyes on the pit is going to be discouraged and is most likely going to walk away. This Mr. Guru Zaris, very, very strong right now. Is 5-0, over 1,200 gold greater differential compared to White Turtle. Like, he's very strong. He has a full Tainted Blade and a full Berserker Axe online, which means he's just zooming around this map right now in defiant control.
Oh, Venom might get split in 2 here. The Terra going under the tower. No unstoppable to make sure the tower stops, and there we go. We'll hack the witch into little bitty pieces. Mr. Guru dancing, but dancing with death. Finds one under the tower, but will go down himself. It's Bedlam in the mid lane.
Absolute bedlam, and in fact that is going to be a massive shutdown going the way of Slick there. They all dive under the tier 1 tower to get those kills, and it pays huge dividends for the side of F5. I mean, that right there, that must have been at least a 1,000 gold injection into Slick's pocket. Well, looking at the net worth though, he's only ahead of Denim by 142 gold, still holding his ground. But on top of all of that, with the Lotus Eternal, he now is that much stronger. He gets that additional stack, which is something that, if you're a gadget, you know, the gadgets we've seen thus far in the tournament have been pretty passive, all things considered. So I'm really surprised to see a Lotus on this hero. But Slick, I mean, he's got 2 kills at least, so that's 2 additional stacks, right?
Right, and went for the early bloom, so that's why he got that quick spike up to 13, and also is the Prima Donna, so is doing that extra damage. She's an artillery mage, Doc, right? She wants to be in the back line, just tossing in spells, so she's okay from taking a little extra damage, because she probably won't be if she's that far away from the rest of her opponents in some of these fights. So we'll see how this gadget continues to scale, and Denim looking to take the fight. The Soulfire just doing so much work. White Turtle has to slowly walk away from this, can't engage onto anyone.
Oof. I did want to correct myself. That kill, I was using outdated information. That kill, that shutdown onto Mr. Guru did give a 1,000 gold injection to Slick, so he is actually 960 gold over Denim right now. Just had to correct myself, so apologies to the folks at home. But
that's fine.
Bedlam in this Fangtooth pit.
Well, here we go. The Abyssal Rift will be ripped and will take down the opposite number. The sisters go at it, and it will be the Rena who comes the victor. And they're looking to clean up this fight. Bring out the brooms and the mops. Only 1-1-1 will live to tell the tale. Never mind. She will be slaughtered, and it's the Fangtooth that will go the way of Phoneix.
That's Denim with a triple kill on that Rena in the mid lane. Shows up, hits his spells, does a ton of damage, and gets rewarded very, very nicely for it. But on the flip side, they weren't able to shut Slick down or, you know, kill him and set him back. So he just walks over to that duo lane, kills a massive creep wave that was kind of growing in that duo lane, protects his tier 2 tower, and gets even more money into his own pocket. So all things considered though, Phoneix coming out on top there. They're able to get that second Fang for themselves, 3rd Fang of the game. So now they have bonuses to the movement speed out of combat. So this Mr. Guru Zaris, who is already zooming around with his dash, already zooming around with this Berserker Axe, is now zooming 8% even faster on top of all of that outside of combat. So this guy is about to just be everywhere all at once.
And he kind of has been, Doc. I mean, he's 6-2. He's been doing a lot of work. Blitzy, on the other hand, on 3 items, that's the work of the Ion, has about 2,000 gold lead. 3 item spikes, I mean, I don't care if you're running the Idrisil on Sports Are Cool, you're not going to stand a chance, but neither will Mr. Guru. Is that a gank gone wrong? It will be F5 who claps back finally, a shutdown onto the Reptilian Gladiator. A nice hop, skip, and jump from Az to dodge the ultimate, but Denim is here. I feel like I want to sing the Jaws theme song, Doc. Dun 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 dun. He's ready to strike. The Abyssal Rift primed and loaded, but the phase so good at helping the carry get out, and they'll hide under the tier 2 after this.
I was going to hit him with the Mario theme. Denim, denim, denim. Denim, denim,
Oh,
denim.
that's good.
Bum, 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 bum. But all the meanwhile, 4 showing over in that duo lane, and that is a green light now for the side of F5 to pressure this off lane tower. Shinbi showed, took the arc shot, showed in that duo lane, so there is emphatically no defense here. So they're going to put a nice chunk of damage, if not take this entire tier 2 here. And yes, that is going to be a massive advantage for F5 in terms of map opening for them. That is a lot of pressure that is passively going to be coming into the Phoenix's off lane now for the remainder of this game. It's not an inhibitor, which is not a death sentence, but it's still, I mean, that is the tower control that F5 is taking is keeping them in this game very strongly. And I'm a little worried for the side of Phoenix's, if we're going to be honest. You know, again, in the green room, we were talking about the lack of definitive front line on the side of Phoenix's, and I was hoping to see Blitzy fulfill that role. Yeah. And he's building full mage. I mean, he has a Magnify. I mean, that's some HP, right? But otherwise, he has Time Warp and Megacosm, and he's working on a Tainted Scepter. So he's committing to just getting in and getting out with kills. Which I'm not crazy about, because right now Mr. Guru can't be the guy to be in the front line. Like, with his advantage, he wanted to lean into being an assassin. We talked about his love and enjoyment of assassin type heroes, and right now he's not able to really do that successfully because he's the tank. He's the guy that everybody's looking at and wants to pump damage into. Denim, though, in danger under this tier 1.
When this tier 1 has to go down. We're reaching the 21st minute mark. A good stasis there, but maybe delays the inevitable. A shutdown by his opposite number expends the Tesla Dome. The reinforcements are here, but maybe just a little too late. Sports Are Cool will cover the retreat, but Mr. Guru is hunting, wants to lock somebody down, but doesn't have the Coliseum available, has to blink to get away and can't deny the justice that is hammered into him. Put in cuffs as Mr. Guru, but now Blitzy, this has to be the savior. The full-on mage assassin dives in and looking to clean up the fight, but it is Haz who's being swept under the rug. The all-kill will hunt down his offlaner. That's a 2 for Blitzy, but what a messy fight here in the jungle.
It's not over yet. Shinbi still quite healthy. I mean, getting chunked down by White Turtle's Yurei. He's trying to salvage the situation, but this phase 1-1-1-1-1 just breaking Blitzy's ankles right now. All the meanwhile, White Turtle just getting everything for free. And this is going to be a dash, jump, back and forth exchange here. Who's going to come out on top? I don't even know.
Doc, you know who's coming out on top? It's Salmonella. They just pushed down that tier 2 tower. The duo lane got so much farm for free. I don't even care how many kills Blitzy got. This carry is the one that will be saving them throughout this game, especially with the Zyrus online. That Bone Collector is where he's looking for, and man, that push cost him a lot.
Yeah, that push that Salmonella just completed over in that duo lane just put him from behind by about 200 gold to close to 1,000 gold over this Twin Blast. Just that push alone because of that engagement. I mean, Salmonella getting absolute value out of the global capabilities of this hero, the Murdoch, with the ability to participate no matter where you are in the map, and he is having very effective success with those long arms of law. Looking at the minion score across the board, he is already over that Bone Collector threshold, so he already has that power spike. He's got a Vanquisher, he's got a Sky Splitter, he's got a Stormbreaker. I mean, this guy's committed to just scaling at this point. And I like the Vanquisher pickup. He realized do this, and it's gonna work out for him, and it secured that kill on Mr. Guru in the mid lane. And Mr. Guru, who had all the tempo in early mid game, suddenly hasn't been able to do anything.
Yeah, this is kind of assassin burst style that they're going for. Is it had a certain power threshold, Doc, and now you feel like they may have missed it in some tankability on the other side, or just the outright heals from this phase, keeping her team in the fight. We sometimes forget that she can pump out the healing, is better, like as good as the Heart Bash sometimes you feel. So we'll see how they get it done. Sports are cool, being shot left and right by Haz. That's his primary target, as we mentioned with the Vermis. They boxed them out from this Fangtooth pit, and they get it. That's 3 for the Phoenixes. That could be the power spike they need to reclaim some of the momentum in their favor. And look, White Turtle's kind of trapped here. That means no hunt is available for F5 should Fangtooth come to it.
There's still not a numbers advantage for Phoneix, and they're not ahead as far as they would like to be at this point, given Guru's tempo throughout the game. So they are going to be looking for a window, and that window could be in the form of Slick Decker pursuing here.
Oh, Decker
kidding.
Getting eviscerated, Doc. Holy smokes. The root. A Moogie Wawa, a guy from way back in the predecessor seed says, if you can't hit your security gate in the Tesla, don't bother playing Gadget. And Slick doing that 1-2 combo to perfection, eliminating the support easily. Phoneix stock, is it slipping away from him? If they lose Blitzy, it will be disaster. Dude. They have to survive here. The pop star, she will find a return kill. The fireworks explode in the sky, but so too will the organs of the Shinbi. She's dead.
Blitzy, 1v3, kills 1, opens the door for his team, for Phoneix, to get into this 4th Fang of the game. Primal Fang is going to happen. Coliseum, though, dropped, but no avail. And that means this is a 50-50, 800 HP onto the Fang. And it's going to go the way of Phoneix. And they are going to clean up Salmonella and 111. A valiant contest to that objective. They get Guru out. They just don't have the damage to take the dragon. And that is going to be the 4th Fang of the game, going the way of the side of Phoneix. They are now empowered with the Primal Blaze. At least 3 of them are. Blitzy doing Shinbi things over in that offlane, drawing everybody over there, creating this window for Phoneix to get back ahead in this game.
Taking a page out of Frog's book. We saw him kind of like 1v4 people and creating so much space, and that's what Shinbis are really known for, right? You just kind of hammer down the offlane, you split push, you create that pressure, you force numbers to rotate to you, and Phoneix utilize that. They recognize it and they go for the Fang, and I love the way that Salmonella worked in that fight to find Mr. Guru, pick him off, and create a 50-50 situation, but the Abyssal Rift is such a strong ultimate in these pit fights, Doc. It just can zap everybody. So if you're in there, it doesn't matter. You're taking damage where you go. So I like the way they contested that. And I was clenched the entire time. I didn't know who was going to come up with the Fang. And it will be the Phoenixes, maybe a resurgence for them. They have to keep their carry alive, and Haz is by their lonesome. Finally, Mr. Guru is playing the front line for some semblance. The Soulstorm expended to try to drag Haz back in, and they will drag him 6 feet under the Coliseum. Pop to keeps the Terra locked in place, but won't get the stack, but will find the kill, and that's a great dash and smash from Mr. Guru. He finds 2.
Oh yeah, that's going to be 2. That's going to be good tempo here for Guru to get back in the game. Haz feels bad to send him back, but, honestly, not the worst situation to be in. Yeah, your carry is dead, but Haz is just a support player at this point. Something that was interesting heading into that fight is that there's about a 4.4 thousand gold advantage in favor of Phoneix right now, and all of that money, that whole advantage is on Blitzy, on the Shinbi. Like he is 4.4k over Sports Are Cool. So,
and that's the Ion, Doc, right? It's just doing the damage. You get all the abilities, and that allows you to scale. And there's a trade of towers, which is why I wanted to just highlight that real quick. Slick slides in there to the mid lane, takes that tower down, and they trade it for the off lane on the other side.
Yeah, there is a tier 2 down now for both teams in that off lane, so now it's kind of an equalized state. The Shaper is getting looked at here by Phoneix. Salmonella is trying to get some eyes on it. He has some nice trap placements there to avoid getting jumped on, but I think they have to make the call to not commit to this because they don't have Tesla Dome, they don't have their Ure, they don't have any real way of contesting that, and that would be a suicide mission, especially against 2 Primal Blaze empowered heroes. So they called disengage, and that's going to be Seedlings now in all 3 lanes for the side of Phoneix, pressuring in. But we're kind of in a weird position right now because Phoneix are on the left side of the map, which means they're not hovering around Orb Prime, which is the next and only objective on the map at this current point in time. And seeing Salmonella over in that duo lane, this could be a green light for the side of Phoneix to walk in that direction, because yeah, they have the map pressure with the seedlings. This is their window.
Yeah, there's a lot of space there, and there was a huge wave in that duo lane, which Salmonella says, thank you very much for the snack. They're now about 1,200 ahead, his opposite number. And now, folks, if you're wondering, how do we know all these gold stats, right? Well, we actually have a fancy app created by Tang, who is able to calculate the gold differential throughout a match, which is a wonderful tool for us casters and for you at home, because we're always wondering, what's the economic advantage between the teams? But sometimes it's about who can click the buttons the best. The Soulstorm used once again for Escape. The long arm of the law from the opposite side of the map doesn't secure a kill this time. Sports are cool, is not feeling cool right now as he is being dove on everyone, targeting the Terra. White Turtle is squished like roadkill, nothing for him to do, and that's a full-on collapse from the Phoneix.
White Turtle flipped onto his back and then skewered and then put on the Barbie, and no salmonella given. I mean, he was cooked fully. We did not get infected. And in that engagement, we got to see the power of the Vermis on that Twin Blast. I mean, he was just pumping damage where he needed to into the Terra, all the while White Turtle trying to get on top of Paz, but Phasmo on this Decker, bro. I'm going to say it again. Ban the Decker, dude. This guy's control in that engagement protecting Haz was crazy. I mean, support players are the unsung heroes of Predecessor, because they just, if they do their job well, their carry looks like an all-star. If they don't do their job well, then they lose the game. So Phasma emphatically just the MVP in that engagement, in my opinion. I mean, the way he was hitting all of his spells, layering them, controlling and protecting Haz, just allowed him to survive and do the damage that was necessary. So now we've entered the state. Orb Prime on the side of Phoenix's. They transition that big engagement there, knocking White Turtle out, removing the Hunt from the equation. They get the Orb Prime. They are now going to be looking to add some pressure to the lanes across the map, most likely the duo lane and the mid lane, and they need to get some map control in the form of wards and dewarding around this Fangtooth, which has just spawned. So this is going to be the 5th Fang of the game, Primal Fang at that.
This is big. This could be a turning point in the match. We are in the late game, folks, right? 30 minutes in. All of the ultimates checked for both teams, so the fireworks will surely fly. Mr. Guru will go dive in first. It's a 10 out of 10 for him, but the Abyssal Ramp is really the damage dealer. They find the Golden Goose, Salmonella, plucked from the sky again, and that's a double for Denim, and that's a great kill to open up the Fang.
Denim took some hand sanitizer, threw it at Salmonella and said, hold this, bozo, and shot him back to base. And that is a massive window. There's now no Hunt to contest this Fangtooth, and you can see with this additional pressure from Blitzy in that off lane, that does force a response. And in fact, it also takes an inhibitor, which is now going to be passive lane pressure in the form of those super minions pushing in for at least the next 5 minutes. Tesla Dome comes down to try to steal this Fangtooth. It is not enough, and that is going to be a stasis value. Olay!
He thought he was being slick, Doc, and he was not going in by himself. There's nothing the Gadget could do, and all the while, Blitzy doing Shimby things. I know our statistician D-Dog is happy about that. A Dower down and an inhibitor, a massive gold swing. We've got about a 10k gold lead now for the Dawn side.
Yeah, most of that gold on Blitzy, and honestly, unsurprisingly, on Phasma as well. So maybe this Ion Eternal is extremely strong in terms of giving just gold to people. So, but again, you got to hit your spells for it to work, right? So, I mean, Phasma has been locked in with his spells this game. That's going to be a long arm of the law trying to clear these creeps.
Oh, they were marching towards the core. They want to win. Turtle in desperation using the Soul Storm, but gets blown up immediately. There is just too much damage being pumped from the side of the Phoneix. 2 kills now for Blitzy. They are carrying the game. The core will be shattered, and game 1 to Phoneix.
Phoneix, they had an incredible start to this game. It looked like they lost the tempo into the mid game, and they closed the game with emphatic control everywhere. I mean, that's something happened internally with their communication in the middle game, but whatever it was, they recovered and they impressed me. Phoneix looking really good. The side of F5, I think there's maybe some draft things that they need to do to adapt, but we'll let the experts handle that one.
For sure, the Phoenix certainly rising from the ashes of that mid game to win it outright in this best of 3 in round 3. But let's send it back to the desk to break it down.
Well, we are going to break it down, but just like you said, it was a back and forth. I mean, Phoenix started a little bit stronger, then you kind of went to I don't know, F5 might be able to come back, and then Phoenix said, nah, we're shutting all of that down. I have enough gold on my decker. Let's run this one and close it out.
Dude, I'm actually so mad at Philly. He stole my line. I was going to say Phoenix rose from the ashes in the mid game, and he literally bar for bar ripped me off. Like, I got nothing. The Phoenix played it super well. I didn't think that far ahead. He stole my line.
Oh man, don't worry. We'll just yell at him later after this. But I mean, all in all, though, I mean, I think it was a pretty good matchup, right? I felt like there was just avenues for F5 to get in there, but it just did not find like the full grasp on it, right? I mean, as we get ready to go through these replays, we're going to start off with what we call the double trouble, right? It's where Phoenix like kind of took the initiative, but yeah, no, that's not what you got to do.
I mean, Phoenix, was the dual lane especially, was gaming. I mean, at this point in the game, I believe Murdoch had a full completed item, and the Twin Blast, yeah, it's still sitting on the Chalice and the components of Solaris, and they still come out of this 2v2, which really set the pace for the rest of the early game for these guys.
Yeah, and I mean, that just shows what Phasma was doing even in the early game, right? Like you said, the dual lane for F5 was doing great. The item gold was there, but I mean, the Ion just was so much better onto when Phasma was just hitting every single ability, doing the damage that's needed. And here comes with TB kind of just picking up the last little sliver of health. Great kind of spacing, and they played that very well in my opinion. But as we're going on to there, then you kind of see the triple kill going off at the primal, right? And then you're like, hey, F5 maybe.
I mean, this is where Phoenix, you know, kind of blew the game open, because on one side of the map, Blitzy is getting his one while he's getting 3-manned on the right side of the map. Meanwhile, in the primal side, Denim is going absolutely nuclear over here, to the point where he not only secures a triple kill, but he also ends up getting the last hit on the primal as well, getting it for his team.
Just there, gets the triple kill. And you know what, Denim, round of applause. We're just gonna clap it out there. You know, that is what you need to do, right? That's a split fight going through both teams, and like you said, if you play for the objective, you end up winning it. That's going to be more beneficial than anything. Yes, Blitzy doesn't get to get it there, but you know what? We're able to kind of get it on the rest of us, the rest of our teammates, and kind of use that to end up this game out. And then kind of from there, I mean, just Phoenix just kind of kept the pressure up and kept going on. So as we get ready for these picks and bans for the next draft, what are kind of your thoughts going to kind of help F5 out to help maybe possibly go into a best of 3 here?
I mean, from that game on, Phoenix, I think, got a lot of value off of their Ion characters. The Shinbi was absolutely a problem, as well as the Decker. So I'm curious to see if they think if it was a draft problem or if they just played it poorly.
I mean, I think it was more of like the poor aspect, because if you really look at the comps, it wasn't really like they were not able to fight. It's more of like they were taking the bad fights, right? The execution for what their comp was supposed to be. But you know what? F5 says maybe Zarus was a problem, so we're gonna get it out of here. I mean maybe that's it, right?
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think Zarus is always going to be a very strong catalyst in engaging fights for your team. It's very straightforward, not hard. It's very hard to mess up, especially when you do just have the big AoE circles like the Abyssal Rift and the Rena. We are also choosing to get rid of the Wraith, and as well as the Boris. That one's a little interesting for me.
That is a little bit interesting. I do agree with you. The Wraith, though, I kind of feel like you kind of let the Wraith through, right? There's a lot of strong characters at the moment, and I kind of feel like you can leave that one for your second rotation, even considering like the Wraith wasn't even a problem in that game. So, I mean, maybe they just think like in the mid for the self of Phoenix, maybe Denim is really comfortable on it, but I'll still kind of leave it out. But this Yin character, right? I kind of feel like this character is hey, I'm going to start off slow. Maybe if I get a couple kills, I'm going to be in a good spot. But there's a point where Yin becomes just unstoppable. It feels like she can just run at you.
I would agree. I don't know. I think F5 is a little traumatized from the previous patch because Wraith and Yin were absolutely problems, but with the round of adjustments, I do think that they're both very playable into. So I'm not sure if it's just like leftover PTSD or if they don't fully understand the meta. And we see Phoneix just picking up the Shinbi again. Like they have a complete correct read. The Shinbi character is not okay. It is just farming every lobby that I see it in, and I'm expecting to see it farm it again.
I guess the Murdoch wasn't the problem for F5 either. Like you said, they were having an exceptional early game with their Murdoch. The long arm of the law was connecting a couple of times. You know what? Let's keep the gadget around there as well. So, I mean, for Phoneix, they have a lot of options here, right? Going throughout the mid lane, they could pick up the Rena again to maybe match the scaling gadget. We did see that Denim had a good performance on it with that last triple. But at the same time, you kind of don't want to have anybody with a projectile, right? You pick up the Rena, you're going to be able to kind of use the Yin to kind of avoid that mez and kind of flick it back. So you kind of don't want that. And that's why we see a Bellica here.
I mean, the Bellica is a good answer into it. If the Bellica is able to get her full rotation off before Yin is able to expend her ultimate, she kind of just does die. But back like you were saying, like, Yin before kind of did just scale into an inevitable raid boss, but I do think that throughout the mid game, she's definitely a lot more beatable, especially when you have the picks like the Bellica, like the Steel, like the Morn. So I'm wondering if they're going to pick up something like that for the support role, or if they're kind of mixing it up and putting the Bellica in the support, because I know F8 has also been playing that a lot.
I mean, she is flexible. I mean, I've even seen her in the offlane one time. No, I'm kidding. So you kind of bring up a great point, right? We didn't see the Morn, right? Here comes a Kalari ban, which I think I understand it. Grew comfortable on the Kalari, right? But at the same time, it's very feast or famine. I'm going to stick by that. But here, where's the Morn at, right? I kind of feel like Morn right now is I would say probably number one, if anything, number two support in the game. Has a lot of util in this kit, creates a lot of space, gives you just kind of sustain. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think a good way to put it is how Zarus is in the jungle for PCC. He always comes back. Morn is that pick in the support role. He will just always come back and get his place in the PCC. And like we said, it's gone. Aurora also being banned, which has been a really strong flex as well recently. If it were me in Phoneix position, I am absolutely slamming the Steel here. Not only does it hard deny the Yin, but it also, fortune teller, bang. Yeah, it's such a strong pick. Usually I see it picks it up early, but I'm really glad that Phoneix is picking it up at this point in the game.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick up there. Like you said, a big counter towards what the Yin is trying to do. And also, if you need CC inside of anything to kind of stack in there, you're always going to pick up Big Steve, and he's going to be able to utilize that. But the Sevarog, somebody we haven't seen since the last patch. Some people are saying he got nerfed, so I'm not seeing. Maybe you are right. Maybe you have a little bit of PTSD picking up the Yin and the Sevarog head into this game.
I'm concerned. I am concerned, Steve. I do think that if this Sevarog is going offlane, he's going to get farmed. Like, the Shinbi is just gonna have free reign. Like that for Sevarog at the point. Like, he can never do anything against Shinbi. She can just choose to AFK. But now with the introduction of Ion, she's not only getting permanent prio, but she's also farming gold off of the dude. So it's just gonna continuously snowball. We are seeing the phase pick here again. I'm not a huge fan of it just because in the 4v4 they don't really have like a strong go button comparatively looking at Phoneix's comp. Like, they now have picked up the Rampage, but Steel is just such a strong facilitator of it starting a team fight. This one's going to be hard for F5 in my opinion.
They have CC on their hand, and like you said, the 4v4, if that Sevarog can't rotate with the Shinbi over there, it's looking like Phoneix has got their squad with them. But you know what? We also have HD Philly and Dr. Shadow waiting to get this game number 2 on the way. Maybe F5 will be able to change our minds.
Thank you, gents. Yeah, some question marks, some queries here, Dr. Shadow. And I'm seeing F5, they're going for the root game once again, but no hard go button, as Haru mentioned.
Yeah, F5, it looks like they felt like mid lane and duo lane did okay, all things considered, but they've totally readjusted and revamped how they want to approach the jungle and the off lane. So we're going to be watching those positions very closely to see if that was in fact the issue. But to what Haru said, they're lacking a go button, and this phase doesn't. I mean, the phase kind of makes it so it's a 4v5 for the majority of the game, right? Yeah. I don't know. I know 111 is really good at Decker, so I'm super surprised to not see him on Decker or them on Decker. Decker wasn't banned. At least I didn't see a Decker picture. No. So it's an interesting choice. But looking across the map, nothing. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I think something that's interesting is Mr. Guru pre Eternals probably wasn't going to play too much Rampage, but now with the Crix Eternal that gives some bonus HP, percentage-based bonus HP, and the Tiny Titan that makes you stronger based on your bonus HP, those things are complementary like peanut butter and jelly, and it allows him to do a ton of damage, get in, get out, and play very similarly to how he really likes to play with a lot of those other in-and-out heroes.
Yeah, Doc, he's taking a page out of like Kofi's book, right? Kofi from Flow State, we know he's kind of piloted or tried and true with that Tiny Titan Assassin kind of style, or just you pump damage, and whereas like Import, one of the best junglers in EU, is more of that facilitator, right? Let me go in with the rock, let me be a front line, let me kind of allow the other people to work around me. So there's different styles to play when it comes to the Rampage. So we'll see if Mr. Guru sticks to his roots when it comes to the Assassin. But I want to talk about this offlane. Blitzy this time opting for the Vesh, and they kind of had to, Doc, when you go up against the Sephiroth.
Yeah, you need the percentage-based damage, otherwise you're predicating your ability to kill the Sephiroth on getting a Megacosm, and as we saw with Blitzy, he didn't really value the Megacosm until probably third or fourth item, I don't remember exactly which, but the Vesh gives him just that inherent ability to poke down the Sephiroth, put him at risk of getting ganked by this Tiny Titan in the jungle. So I really like that adjustment coming out from Blitzy, but I guess we'll see, like, if it plays out, because the other thought is you could just run Ion and just use that insane gold advantage that we saw Blitzy having to get a fast Megacosm and then an Anoxia, and then suddenly it doesn't really matter what Eternal you have because you're just doing so much damage. So we'll see. I'm just checking the minor blessings. He just has a little bonus lifesteal, magic lifesteal, and he's also going to be doing additional 2% bonus damage to the target's current health over time. So he is looking to be the Sephiroth killer in this game.
And that's all well and good, right? Eliminate the front line, and then you can kind of just walk into the back and take it from there. And I think that Phoneix has some great peel ability, right? They've got the Steel, who's such a great defender or initiator, depending on how you need to work it into the fight. So watch them, and the Rampage too, so watch them to be looking out for the Yin. As the Yin tries to assassinate Haz in the back line, the shield slam can come in, or shield slap, just push the Yin away and really, take this assassin down. So White Turtle is who I'll be looking at to really make an impact here. They go for an attempted gank, but Mr. Guru had found them out. The Rumble will punch them just a little bit. It's a 2v2 in the offlane, but I think we'll high five and back off for now.
And White Turtle helping Sports Are Cool just get those creeps minions pushed in to that tier 1 tower. Blitzy, though, isn't going to let them go under and is going to keep them out, so you can make sure that he keeps the wave in a good state for him to remain in a safe position, so that he can go back, get a reset, return to lane, not really have to worry too much. But yeah, White Turtle on this Yin, I don't love the early ganking, especially against heroes like a Shinbi who have a very simple get out of jail free card, unless you have hard stuns, hard lockdown, and yeah, you have the subjugate from the Sephiroth, but other than that, you don't really have, there's not too much happening there. So I personally would have preferred to see him remaining in the jungle, getting his clear on, just accelerating into this game and picking and predicating fights around objectives. I think that is really what we were lacking last game with the Ure. He was so busy trying to do so much across the map. I think he needs to really focus, put the blinders on, the horse blinders on, and just focus on the objective, right? And speaking of objective, Mr. Guru already on the first one of the game, and that's going to be the seedlings in the river. White Turtle, though, sees it happening.
And he might go in for the hunt and see it. 600 is the mark now. Does anybody have the hunt available? I think Mr. Guru was able to snag that one away, but now a blink chase is on. Can the Yin tame the beast? Mr. Guru running for his life, forces a rotation from Denim. And that's okay, just wasting some time from there. Doc, something that I'm noticing about F5, right, is what is their game plan, right? Who are they working through? How do they want to approach their strategy in this? Whereas Phoneix, they have a strategy. They know what they want to do. Let's work through the offlane. Let's find the split push and create map pressure and then collapse from there. So right now, F5, what is their strategy? And it's to get onto the Fangtooth first. This is exactly what you were talking about with White Turtle needing to play around these objectives.
Yeah, they have to get on these objectives. They have to get them. The duo lane did force back Phoneix's duo lane, so that kind of created that window for them to walk into here. Yeah. You can see Guru cleaning up this other seedling, but it's a tough question, right? It's very clear, again, what Phoneix wants to do. They want Blitzy to just go out there, be a distraction. All the meanwhile, to Haru's point on the desk, the rest of the team with the steal, with the rampage, they have that definitive go button. Like, hey, we want to pick a fight? Okay, I'm going to go shield slam now. Or, okay, I'm going to go hit a boulder now. But on the side of F5, it's really, really, really tough unless you are relying on 1-1-1-1-1's energy lance to, like, root somebody, I guess. I don't really know. I'll be honest. It's we're gonna have to see how it plays out, but it's not clear on paper what their game plan is right now because they have two divers. They have the Sevrog who wants to be a disruptor in the back line. He wants to just phantom dash in, cause chaos, and then you have the Yin who wants to find the squishy targets and just melt them down. But if they're both doing it, then who's protecting the gadget or the Murdoch?
It's got to be the phase, and that is super tough, Doc, because you're linked to one person, so that's got to be the person you protect, and there's two people that you need to look out for, so a lot of question marks and a lot on the line. Yes, both of these teams will make it into the next weekend, Doc, but it depends on the seeding. Like, do you want to be the first team to go up against the Professors next weekend? Probably not, so the higher you go, the less likely that is to happen, so you want to try to win this series the best that you can, and this is the steal, is just making rotation off of rotation. They don't have the shield slam just yet, Doc, but I feel like as soon as that comes online, it's going to be trouble out here for F5.
I didn't see I don't see a river buff onto Slick, so I'm pretty sure Phasma is just causing chaos.
Oh, yeah, he's got
the
it.
Steal. Yeah, okay, so he did in fact get the steal there, so that is incredible in terms of shutting down the tempo from Slick. Because again, Slick, he's doing his job, right? He's killing creeps, he's stacking, he's getting stronger as the game goes on. He's letting Ion give him money so he can continue to get stronger so that he can do his job in terms of pressing Tesla Dome. We saw some awesome Tesla Domes coming out from him in game one. So anything you can do to slow him down, and Phasma's doing it.
That's big. So adjustments, and that's what we want to see throughout every series, okay? The Xyrus didn't really necessarily work for me last time, or the Lotus rather, didn't really necessarily work. Let me go for the Ion and see how that goes. And Time Warp first seems to be the key to making this work, because when you go Philosopher, Doc, it helps reduce the gold interview when you have ability haste. So okay, go Time Warp, and then you're getting extra gold so much more quickly throughout the match. And so I love how these players are using the math and figuring out how to get these Eternals to work for them. White Turtle is getting invaded upon. Will they be flipped over? Yes, first blood goes to Denim.
Denim making a great rotation with the in tandem with the invade from Mr. Guru onto that 2 camp there, and they are going to shut down White Turtle early on, and that is not what you want if you are an F5 fan at home, because Yin, it's very similar to like the Sereths. The only difference is that Yin can farm her way back into the game. Sereth can't do that. So there's the timer's ticking. The timer has started, and Guru and Blitzy and Denim, the side of Phoneix, they are now in control in the tempo for this early mid game, and now we're going to see the mini prime off of that pick given to Blitzy. So this Shinbi in the off lane, who's already causing some problems or did cause problems in game one, is now going to be looking to really pressure Sports Are Cool, really shut him down, keep him from getting stacks, and pressure that tower, getting tower plate gold.
Doc, it's their game plan, right? Let's work through the off lane. So we give the buff over to them. We know we've got a good matchup here from our Eternals and all things like that, and they're just going after it and picking up the Magnify 2, which shreds through magical armor. I mean, what can Sports Are Cool do? They've got the rejuvenation robe, which gives them some armor, but that's basically shredded into a million pieces as Blitzy is just stampeding through this off lane, and they'll need him as the second Fang is about to spawn.
And Blitzy using that all kill early on there, he didn't have the maximum number of stacks, but he used it to really make sure that he forced Sports Are Cool back to base to heal. And as a result, he gets 2 tower plates there for himself. White Turtle's going to show up. He's going to try to do some pressure, but the lash kick is not going to connect. Blitzy's just going to hit that blast flower and just walk away with his... Yeah.
I mean, Doc, like, that's what you were talking about, the yin. You need help when you go for these ganks. Right, and the Shinbi is so difficult to gank, and the Yin is attempting to still pressure the Shinbi, but the Circle Rhythm will keep them alive, and in rhythm right now are the Phoenixes as they swarm over the Fangtooth and take it for themselves. We're knotted up in terms of the objective, but the gold lead is to the Dusk side.
Dusk side, they are up 1,500 gold right now across the board. The majority of that, oh, surprise, on Blitzy. I mean, he got 3 tower plates there in the off lane.
Yeah,
it's just so much gold, and I loved what Phoneix did there. The second Yin, White Turtle and Yin showed up in that off lane, they said, okay, guess we're going to Fang now, bye. And they all instantly converged on that second Fangtooth of the game. And as I say that, a Rampage on the Salmonella going to force the blink, the Shield Slam, the follow, and Guru's going to blink with the Tiny Titan, the Ventilate, the follow, and that's going to be not just a death for Salmonella, that is going to be a blink as well. And now Murdoch is going to straight up be not having a good time for the next 5 minutes here, and that's likely going to be a tower plate as well unless Yin can clear those minions.
Doc, PSA, don't lazy back. I know I catch myself doing it all the time, and you can't when a Rampage is lurking in the jungle. I mean, those rocks, you can hit them from range. Mr. Guru, you know, one of those veteran players, has seen that time and time again, so an excellent kill. And as you mentioned, this probably will be revisited, knowing that the Murdoch does not have a blink. And Sports Are Cool back in lane and immediately chunked down to 1/3 HP. They have to do something about this Shinbi. She's willing to take this 2v1, Doc. 1 circle rhythm, and that was about half health gone.
He has his catalytic on right now, so he is still stacking, he is still scaling, but I'm concerned by White Turtle and the amount of time he's been spending over here. And White Turtle thinks he's going back to his jungle, but instead Blitzy chases him, and it's Guru's here to surprise him. The blink to try to get away, but is he going to get out? Is there an all kill? I don't think there is, and he should. Oh, no, Neural Disruptor. Denim comes out of nowhere. I think he even blinked to hit the Neural Disruptor there. And
okay, well, I mean, Doc, the Lieutenant Bellica has been hitting the range, okay? Got some good bullseye shots. But as you mentioned, White Turtle taking a lot of time in that offlane to try to help this Sevrog, and as you're doing that, you're leaving your 3 other members out to dry. They're just falling like flies. The Murdoch punished again.
Murdoch, I mean, they lost a 2v1 against Haz. Salmonella somehow died against Haz, even though there was no support in that duo lane. And on the retreat, 1-1-1-1-1 gets caught out by the collapsing members, Guru and Phasma there. That is just a disaster in the duo lane for the side of F5. Everything that looked so good in game 1 seems to be just falling apart. It's like they're just so disjointed communication-wise, and the map is slowly, as a result of that, the map is slowly closing out for them, and that is going to be most likely a tier 1 tower here to fall in the duo lane. The tier 1 tower over in the off lane is on a sliver of HP, and that is going to be a gold injection going the way of Phoenixes, boosting their lead from 1.5k gold now to 3,000 gold across the map.
So they have doubled their lead in terms of gold, and they're looking to double it in terms of kills. And they'll lock down the Yin and send her back to the gray screen. Doc, F5, just too many scalers. You can't. It's okay to have one scaling lane. You know, they're gonna just kind of be back and forth. But you've got the Gadget wants to scale, the Sevrog wants to scale, the Yin with the Demi-Urge wants to scale. Get these items online, needs time to farm. That's too many players. Your timings are way too late with the onslaught that is coming through from the Phoneix. I mean, Steel and Rampage can get after you early, and they are making them pay with the CC.
Well, and we're seeing the go button getting pressed on the side of Phoneix. They are just going. Shield slam to follow there to start. 1-1-1 going to get sent back to base at Tesseldome to try to dissuade this pressure onto Slick, and it is going to be enough to scare them away. The long arm of the law is not going to be enough to finish anybody, but it is going to be the backup button for the side of Phoenix's. Slick looking to get a hat placed on somebody to clean them up, but that's going to be a tier 1 tower in the mid lane to fall, tier 1 tower in the off lane to fall, and that is a massive gold injection. We're now 4.2k lead given the way of Phoenix's.
Doc, that's more than I have in my bank account right now, so they're doing a great job, and they are going again. They don't even care about that tier 1 in the mid. They are diving right onto him. Mr. Guru pounces on his prey, will find one. Denim will be split in the mid lane. Finally, a kill on the board for F5, but it may be a little too late. The eyes set onto the mini prime.
And Haz somehow gets out with an actual sliver of HP. Phasma providing the cover, providing the peel that his carry requires. All the meanwhile, Blitzy, he takes that solo bolo with the magnifier, with the preliminary tainted item, preventing the healing coming out from, what's his name, Sports Are Cool. That's the Sevrog is just not having a good time. This Shinbi hero is causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, there's a reason that we saw it banned a lot yesterday, and you feel like it's one of those priority picks. If it sneaks through the ban phase somehow, you have to pick it up. It is just the Eternals have upped the power level of the pop star just tenfold. You feel Sports Are Cool down 2 levels in this off lane. This is a rough look for F5. Doc, I want him to come back. It was a nice ebb and flow tug of war in game 1, but game 2 seems to be slipping away from him. But the next Fangtooth is available. I'm looking at the ultimates. No shield slam for this fight. So we'll see how the Phoneix decide to engage, and I think dissuaded is the right term for the side of F8. They are running for the hills.
I mean, that's a steal with a mini prime. The shield slam just came off of cooldown, but FaZe is going to pull them out. They are going to get under the safety of their tier 2 tower, but 2 heroes low on the side of F5. Sort of low, not really low. They took some damage, but that's still enough to be a green light for the side of Phoenix's to kind of look at this Fangtooth. It's not a primal Fang. It is the 3rd Fang of the game. Slick, though, is going to be looking to poke, but Denim David misses the seismic assault there, though. And yeah, this is just going to be an opportunity. Phoneix are looking for a pick. They're going to get one. If they can get one, they walk into the Fangtooth. They're not hungry enough, but who is that? Phasma gets caught out with the energy lance.
Oof, that was really tough, but he's okay. He's got the adaptive shields. He'll feel all right as he waddles back to the rest of his team. Has, though, under duress, being whipped into submission. You like that, says Denim, who will take the Neural Disruptor to the dome. And that's the jungler off the board. You feel like that is the checkered flag into the pit of the dragon, so we'll see if they go after it. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, Silk with stasis value, and that's a double for Denim.
That's a double for Denim. White Turtle was feeling himself on top of Haz there. He was like, I'm Yin, you're a carry. I'm just gonna hit you and do Yin things. And Denim walks up, hits him with the seismic assault, and says, nah, you're going back to base, buddy. And that opens the door for the side of Phoenix's to walk in. They get the 3rd Fang of the game, 2nd Fang for themselves, out of combat bonus to movement speed. They have a very strong lead, though the lead has not grown exponentially in the way that it did previously. It's only at about 5,000 gold right now. But again, most of that on Blitzy, on the Shinbi. The dude is just farming his life away over in that off lane.
Yeah, farming heroes, farming towers, farming minions. He's got a degree in agriculture for sure, Doc. And it's White Turtle who was our question mark in this. They needed to make an impact, and Yin seems to be the character to do it. The hero play for the squad just hasn't had the Herculean effort just yet. If you look across the map, there's no real objectives here. I mean, Shaper, he's kind of lingering around should they want to take it, but you feel like this is just a time to farm as we enter the mid game. And Doc, you know, I've always asked you about who's got the better team fight in this. I feel like we've seen it already. It's got to be Phoneix.
Oh, absolutely. It is 100% Phoneix. I mean, thinking about Tesseldome, great, but what is the go button to enable the Tesseldome to be successful? And there isn't really one unless you hit a lucky subjugate, maybe? As I say that, Tesseldome drop.
Okay, right on the head of Steel, and he will get zapped. I think Steel's okay with conducting some electricity, and conducting death is Mr. Guru as he takes down Slit.
I love how adorable that guy is when he is tiny and itty bitty. Let's see, stasis, actual stasis value. He turns into stasis, he blinks up onto the ledge, and is now breaking ankles while doing just obscene amounts of damage to everybody. Sports are cool on the retreat, is going to be forced to blink with the rock, keeping him in place. The all kill comes out, and Has actually gets the last kill with the bonus damage coming out from Vermis.
Sheesh. I mean, the rock is so good, man.
Yeah.
If you hit that, the stun is so long, and now the haze, not long for this world. Another neural disruptor pops him in the sky, and that's a full-on victory for the side of Phoneix. And this time, Salmonella didn't get any push off of it, Doc, so he's kind of still under the gun in terms of gold.
Yeah, Salmonella down about 1,000 gold right now. I mean, he's Zyrus, so he's still still scaling. But Has feeling so good right now. He's got his Solaris, he's got his Tainted Rounds, he's got Vermis. The one person who would be a threat in this game, White Turtle, to him is so far behind right now. It is not possible, really, unless Has somehow gets caught out in a 1v1 situation. So the game is very tough right now. Long Arm of the Law comes through to try to steal the mini or Prime. It does not work. Tesla Dome is dropped.
And so might be Phasma, so very close to death, but they did their job, Doc. They dumped the kit, got some kills, and 2 down for F5 once again. It was the Long Arm of the Law. They tried to jump in with the hunt. A shutdown, though, from the carry. It's their time to shine, but do they have the gold to do it? Blitzy says not even close. The all kill will hunt another to extinction, and the last one left standing is 1-1-1, make it 0-0-0. Sports are cool has triumphantly returned to the fight, but can't hit this mini Titan. He's too tiny to fight. The Void Bond will explode upon his head. Sports are cool says, I'm getting the hell out of here, not a fight I want to take.
Ooh, Denim tries to hit the Neural Disruptor on the Blast Flower, or Geyser, whatever we want to call it, the Geyser Sevrog, but it just misses by the skin on his teeth, and that is going to be a... Are they resetting?
I think so. Okay, yeah. I thought it was a pause there for a second, Doc. And
yeah, that was weird. Or they were waiting to see.
Yeah.
I think they were waiting to see.
Let's talk about it. I mean, what is F5's win condition? How can they get back into this game?
Oh...
If they can, they might not be able to. I don't know.
I mean, protecting their base with their lives will ensure that they get to play the game. The later the game goes, it favors F5. And the reason I say that is Yin, who is potentially about to die here, but Yin, the later the game goes, Yin becomes an absolute terror to everybody in the game. I mean, especially especially Bellica, I mean, even the tanks, because of the percent-based damage that she's able to do. On top of that, you have Zyrus on Salmonella. So the more creeps he kills, or minions he kills, the stronger he gets as the game progresses. And then you've got Gadget, who just passively scales, right? So the later the game goes, the stronger she gets. Sevrog, again, the later the game goes, the stronger he gets, and will become so hard to kill. Especially if they can take Has out of a fight early. Sevrog won't die.
Okay. So they have to weather the storm. They still got a couple tier 2s left, but they are losing objectives left and right, and they may lose some more of their lives. Sports are cool is fighting in the thick of things. They found the primary target. Has fragged out in this one. Sports are cool doing his job, but the Tiny Titan is raining terror once again. Call in the Rangers. They need to take this guy out of the fight. A double kill for Mr. Guru, and Sports are cool. He's pressured once more. Oh, they're just beating him and shove him in the locker. He's dead.
Yeah, they shoved him in the locker all right, and that locker was about 10 sizes too small. Speaking of objectives, though, White Turtle over here in the off lane, ignoring the rest of his team, is going to take the tier 1 tower and the tier 2 tower. Actually, I'm not confident he's going to get the tier 2 tower, so he opens up at least a little net worth back into his team by getting that tower, but that was a disastrous fight to not be present for, because as soon as they took Has out of the fight, it was somewhat winnable.
Yeah, it definitely was, but then, yeah, they needed some more damage. That's what White Turtle is there to do. A seismic assault jumped over a great lash kick. There's some stasis value here for now. It will be like the Avatar. The wind will blow, but not in his favor. Denim just too damn strong.
And it was looking okay until that Primal Blaze came online for Denim. Denim in the middle of the stasis, gets empowered, goes Super Saiyan, gets that pure damage tick that he has, and just hits one, maybe two spells onto White Turtle, sending him back. It was looking so good for White Turtle too. The way he dodged the seismic assault with the lash kick, it looked like he had an opportunity there to beat down the Bellica, but unfortunately that was not the case. And now Sports Are Cool gonna be in danger in that off lane, and the game is very, very tough for the side of F5 right now because they are just hemorrhaging kills left, right, and center, and they're down so far. They're down 12, almost 13,000 gold across the map, and they're going to be looking to at least pressure 2, maybe 3 inhibitors at the same time soon. You can see a 1-1-2 split. I don't know where everybody is, but they're doing a split.
Well, that looks like they're converging in the mid lane. The mid inhibitor is usually sometimes the most difficult to get down because it's easy to defend, and this has to be a desperate defense for the side of F5. A great wall to cover the retreat. And yeah, that's fantastic work from the Steel to counter out the phase for now. But Blitzy on the flank, he is hunting for more kills. Salmonella is able to spot them out. A good defense stock, but I think they've taken enough damage. They'll probably back off. We'll call that a technical knockout.
Nah, no way. Phoneix don't need to back out. Only Denim David is backing out. They're splitting 1-2-1, and Rampage Guru is kind of alternating between middle and off lane. It looks like they're now going to rotate 3 over here. Has actually jumps up into a dangerous place, is almost punished severely there, and Sports Are Cool is looking to capitalize on this, getting on top of him.
Oh, a colossal blow onto 2, knocks him back into the fray, and he gets what he's looking for. Oh no, he's still hanging on by a thread. I thought the banner popped. How is he staying alive here? And that's because Blitzy has crashed through the O-line. He has found himself a quadra kill. This Shinbi is on a tear.
Okay, well, I guess I'm changing the phrase from Ban Decker to Ban Shinbi, man. Slick, he shows up to that inhibitor. He drops the Tesla Dome to kill all the minions to try to buy his team some extra time, but Haz is still alive after all of this. He has the Primal Blaze. He somehow is not punished despite getting Colossal Blowed back into his team.
Whew. Wild. Okay, well that is that, Doc. It's all said and done. The RGS Ace will secure the victory for Phoneix. They, in a blistering game number 2, secure a good seed going into next weekend.
Phoneix looking so good. I mean, they're just doing the basics very, very well in terms of their rotating, in terms of, oh, we saw the jungler on one side of the map. Okay, we're going to walk into an objective now to capitalize on that. The way that they're playing around the map, it just seems like they're communicating on a level that's different from F5. F5, they tried to adapt in the draft. It did not work out for them. So hopefully they do some studying between now and next weekend.
Yeah, some things to VOD review for sure, and that's sometimes the draft can make or break how your game will go. I'm getting all my words scrambled. F6, Haru, take it away.
Make or Drake.